The halal market is very large, with a presence not only in the Middle East but also in South Asia, West Asia, Africa, and Southeast Asia. The global halal economy is projected to reach over $7 trillion in 2023 and is expected to increase to around $10 trillion by 2028. It is forecasted that by 2025, halal certificate food will accounted for 20% of the total value of global food consumption, creating significant opportunity for Vietnamese businesses to penetrate this market. Although this is a large market, it is undeniable that the halal market is demanding with a stringent set of standards. To gain access to this market, businesses must meet halal requirements to obtain halal certification. Today, we will analyze the key to unlocking the door to this billion-dollar market with three guests. I want to introduce Mr. Trần Anh Vũ, Vietnam Ambassador to Brunei Darussalam. I want to introduce Mr. Trần Quốc Dũng, Director of Vietnam Certification Center, Ministry of Science and Technology. And finally, I want to introduce Mr. Addy Perdana Soemantry, Head of Commercial Section of Indonesia Embassy in Vietnam. So we sincerely thank our guests for joining today's program. Yes. So first, I want to start with the first part of our discussion on the businesses, the key factor of halal industry. First, Ambassador Trần Anh Vũ, can you hear me clearly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. You know that on this October 22nd, the first international conference on halal will be held in Vietnam. What are your assessment on the significance of this conference and importance of international cooperation in halal industry?
Good afternoon. First of all, I would like to express my appreciation to the world and Vietnam for organizing this program. I would also like to send my gratitude to distinguished speaker and participants at this event. The organization of the first International Halal Conference on fostering international cooperation and mobilizing international resources to develop Vietnam's sustainable halal industry is a very good initiative as Vietnam accelerates the development of the halal industry and international cooperation. The attendance of representatives of governmental agencies and businesses from various countries, including the big businesses from Brunei Darussalam, and particularly the presence of leaders of the government of Vietnam, is strong evidence of the support and determination to move for the development of the halal industry. I am convinced that effective international cooperation will contribute greatly to Vietnam's halal industry, and has been the case in various sectors of our economy over the last decades. At present, many ASEAN countries are actively promote cooperation in the halal industry, which could provide useful experiences to Vietnam. I think first and foremost, strengthening international cooperation will help our halal products to gain access to the huge global halal market, including the vast halal market in Southeast Asia. Secondly, international cooperation will bring about opportunities to attract investment and knowledge in halal industry in Vietnam, particularly in halal food industry, finance, tourism, and other halal subsector where Vietnam has the potential to develop. Last but not least, international cooperation help build capacity for halal industry, particularly in the area of halal certification and capacity building. In this connection, the ongoing cooperation between Vietnam and other countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brunei are very timely and important. Thank you.
Yes, it's really that we have a lot of chance to push the international cooperation in the halal industry, right? Mr. Anda, yes, Perdana, yeah. You know that Indonesia had a huge halal market in the region and in the world, right? So why this market in Vietnam is quite new? Yeah, and how do you evaluate the prospect of Vietnam halal industry and its potentials?
Thank you very much for the question. As you said that the global halal market is expected in 2028 in 10 trillion US dollar, and also in it will be reached 15 trillion US dollar in 2050. Vietnam has a solid foundation as well a large potential to tap to this market. Many businesses believe that halal certificate is the key of the Vietnam industry to increase penetration to halal market. However, this perspective is not complete. The halal industry is beyond than halal certificate. For Muslims around the world, halal is more than just industry. It's also a way of life. If one product is declared as halal, it must follow the halal guidance in every part of its production. Furthermore, it should also take into consideration, among other, its quality, environment impact, hygiene, effect, and toward health. And halal is also applied not only for food, it have beverage, fashion, cosmetic, pharmaceutical, tourism, media, and recreation, and also the finance service. With the solid manufacturing industry, strong commitment, and eagerness to understand halal industry, the prospect for Vietnam is very bright.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm impressive that the halal is not industry, but it's a way of life for Muslims. So it's important key for business to remember. Yes. So we produce product not for industry, but also to provide for Muslim to live. Yeah, based on. Thank you, Mr. Trần Quốc Dũng. Now I want to more specific issue that you know that having a full knowledge of regulation and standard of halal in market is key factor to promote the entry of goods into this market. However, it seems quite new for Vietnamese businesses. What are your comments on this observation?
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to the World and Vietnam Journal to talk about very important issues nowadays for Vietnamese economy. And what you have mentioned is right. Meeting requirements of the exported market is crucial for every businesses, including the businesses that wants to export the halal product. You should have the true understanding of the standards and also the certification regime in applicable for your product or services in the imported destination. To be accepted, your product should be certified by a certification body that approved by the Islamic country, by the very imported country. That means that if you want to import your product to Indonesia, you need to have the your product certified by the certification body that recognized or approved by Malaysia. By Indonesia, especially by the BPGPH, the authority of Indonesia. So it is also applicable to Malaysia, to Saudi Arabia, to UAE, to every Islamic country. That's the problem, the issue right now, that each Islamic country or region has their own standards and certification regime, and not accepted by others. So if you want to export your product to a country, you need to know very well about the standards and regulation of that country particular. So that from my observation, that we need an information center for serving as the trusted point for assisting the businesses to entering different halal market. So Vietnam Halal Certification Authority is right now working on this direction. Last month we had the meeting with the OIC ambassadors in Vietnam, and we agreed that the Vietnam International Halal Board could be a good initiative to serve that purposes, to provide the trusted information and also the expertise for the halal in Vietnam.
Addy, how do you comment about the initiative to have a board of information center of Vietnam? Do you think it's necessary?
I think it's very good government from Vietnam to provide this service center, because that maybe now a lot of company that want to also expand the market in Islamic country, they can also consultate in this service center.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Trần Quốc Dũng, I think that obtaining a license to enter international halal market is not an easy path, right? So what are opportunity and competitive advantages Vietnamese business have to participate in the halal market?
Even the last halal is not an easy standard. And as Mr. Addy addressed, halal is not just an industry, it's a way of life. And once you committed to halal product, you must always maintain that commitment. That is key point. And you need to believe in what you are doing. That's more important than just to have the good profile. To have a certificate, a piece of paper. A piece of paper is nothing. So this is, I think this is core of the halal certification. Nevertheless, Vietnam has some advantages for entering the halal market. First of all, we are one of the top exporter for agricultural product. So that could be serve as the raw material for all halal food. So the Islamic country needs that ingredients, that raw material from Vietnam. So this is one of our advantages. Next step, we can have our Vietnamese halal food. Right now, Vietnamese halal food is not considered in the world. But in the future, I believe that we will have our own halal food that can be consumed by the Islamic country. We need to note that halal product is not only consumable for Muslim people, but also for non-Muslim people, because of the value that halal product has. For example, for the halal product, for halal agriculture, for example, you need to have the good care, fair care to the animal. So this is the, I think this is the common value of the humanity. So once you can have the halal product, then you not only have the good in the hygiene, the good hygiene product, but also the good value product. So in that case, we can Vietnam can improve our image. Okay. The second thing is the Vietnam is in the crossroad of the international trade. So we can serve both the Middle East, Middle West, or the Southeast country, the biggest Islamic or Muslim market, and Vietnam has a very stable political status situation, and we are a very friendly, open market and friendly market and friendly people to many other country, both Muslim and non-Muslim. So we can get the good cooperation with all the players. And the other thing, I think Vietnam is also the emerging tourism destination. We are quite famous with the friendly people, and Halal tourism or Muslim friendly tourism is one of the emerging aspect of the Halal economy. So we can meet that requirements, and that is, I believe that this would be one of the important sector of Halal industry in Vietnam. Last but most important factor, we have a very serious and due care attention from the government on the Halal development. You know, last year Prime Minister have decided to develop the Halal economy and ecosystem for Vietnam, and a lot of the action has been done. For example, we have a lot of the forum, we have a lot of trade exchange, and we already issue some Vietnamese standard for Halal. We have established the certification body, and we have also the legislation on Halal production. So this is like a complex actions to serve the Halal development in Vietnam.
I want to add that the Prime Minister also enact the vision of Halal industry until the 2030. So it's very important policy of Vietnam government to create more condition for Halal industry. So thank you, Trần Dũng, very informative sharing. So Mr. Addy, with impressive Halal market and comprehensive understanding of Halal culture, could you please share the Indonesia experience in developing Halal industry, especially the policy that support the business in the Halal sector?
As the one of the country with the largest Muslim population in the world, Indonesia already has established halal industry and market. Products sold in the market are already reviewed and labeled according the evaluation by the halal authority to make sure that all the Muslim customer get the halal food in the market. And for the regulation, before the certification of halal is now is obligatory, because we want to provide the halal food from the Muslim in Indonesia.
Yes. Do you have any policy to create the condition for the business to invest in other nations, to cooperate to make the halal product? Any policy? We are as like a embassy. We want to cooperate in all aspects included in halal. So the embassy is not only provide the collaborate in other part, but in halal industry we believe that it's not only focus in economic aspect, but also we cooperate between two countries in social and cultural also. Yes. We have a lot of aspects to cooperate in the halal industry, right? Ambassador Trần Anh Vũ, yes, okay, yeah. Recently, the ambassador and the embassy in Brunei have conducted numerous activities to connect and share information about Brunei halal with the Vietnamese Vietnamese business community. And could you highlight the importance of halal industry for Brunei economy and any lessons for Vietnam?
Thank you for the question. Brunei is now implementing the National Vision 2035, and the focus of the vision is the economic diversification, and accordingly, Brunei's goal is to become a regional hub for the halal industry. With that goal, the country has been trying to establish the halal ecosystem, and I would like to share two of their experiences. First one is a policy to ensure the quality of Brunei halal certificate. So in Brunei, the halal certification process is approved and supervised by relevant ministries, including the Ministry of Religious Affairs, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Primary Resource and Tourism, and some other agencies. And the process comprises of very strict and reliable standards. And also very important, the standard also reflects Bruneian social and business values. And I would like to recall what the previous speaker has mentioned. Halal is the way of life. So with this policy aims at ensuring that the enterprises, the producers, and the consumers in Brunei are deeply aware of the procedures and the importance of complying with the halal standards in their business culture in Brunei. So second is a policy to nurture the halal businesses and enterprises through the government policies and public-private partnership. In Brunei, there have been a number of state halal enterprises, including Gandhi International Corporation, which was established in 2009 under the Ministry of Finance and Economy, with the mission of developing, marketing, and promoting Brunei halal food products globally. And they are now exporting many products to various countries in the world. So in terms of partnership with the private sector, Gandhi and other state enterprises in Brunei have been working with the business sector to develop made in Brunei products at import substitution and export through various measures. So one measure is the provision of halal standard production lines. So there are many small and medium-sized in Brunei which could not afford to have their own factory or halal production lines. So in that case, they could rent the production line from Gandhi. So with this measure, the small and medium-sized enterprise in Brunei could afford to have their product processed according to the halal standard. So besides this method, Gandhi is also engaged in other forms of collaboration with the private sector, including contract manufacturing, OEM, and private labeling, product development, R&D, and other areas. So Gandhi is open to cooperation with interested partners from other countries, including from Vietnam. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, the ambassador. Yes, there are a lot of ways that Brunei to push halal industry is going to become a hub of halal, yes, in the future, and it's also it's also have the ecosystem of the halal. Yes, it's very important. Yes, so with the Mr. Trần Quốc Dũng, yes. I have a question for you. Currently, there are not many Vietnamese businesses that understand and actively engage in halal market, right? And what are the main challenges that the Vietnamese business are facing?
Right now, our business is facing many constraints or many difficulties to participate to the halal market. The first I can see that is the information, the lack of information. The enterprises, they don't have right or sufficient information about the requirements of the export destination country. So you know that information and knowledge is the very first thing, the very first thing that the business must have to enter any market, not just the halal market. And the other aspect of this is we are not the Islamic country. We are not the Muslim country. Our Muslim community is very small, about 80,000 people, in comparing with about 100 million of Vietnamese population. It's just a small number. And most of the company that producing the halal product is using non-Muslim people.
Yeah.
So they don't know how to do. They don't know exactly how to do what to do. So that information and knowledge is the very first constraint, first difficult to the our businesses. The second is the as I mentioned, there is no harmonization in the standards and conformity assessment. I mean certification procedure in the world. So one company, when they have a product, they want to export to Indonesia, they need to follow all the requirement from Indonesia. Next time they want to export to Turkey, then they need to meet the requirement of Turkey. And Turkey and Indonesia has no connection, no recognition of the standards and certification regime yet. And the Islamic world is still working on that, but not yet reach agreement for the harmonization of standards and conformity assessment regime. So this is the constraint. So they need to have multiple certification if they want to export their product to different country. So it's related to the cost, the time. Okay. The next difficulties is, as Mr. Andy mentioned, for halal product, halal certification is the whole chains of production, from the raw material until the complete finished product. So all ingredient must be halal. So that sometimes we cannot have all halal ingredient. We need to import from outside. So that is the other the constraint. That's why Vietnam mainly export raw material in the halal. I mean in the halal certification, rather than the finished product. So that is the and human resources. Is one of the leakage in Vietnam. Human resources is first is the Muslim people, because for the standards they require that at least there are one or some Muslim person in a business, in a company. So that is, we have only small number of the community. So that is the difficult. And also the knowledge. You need to train, educate and train all of the member of the company. Not only just some people take caring about the certificate, but all the people, so that they can handle the product rightly. That is the, and we don't yet have any training center or education center specialized or having the halal issue subject in the training scheme. And the other is, I think, is subjective constraint, is the company themselves. Many companies are so dependent on the support and the direction from the government. and they cannot decide by themselves.
Yeah.
We often have hear the question that the government wants us to have the halal certificate or halal production, and what if I cannot sell the product? Then is there any reimbursement from the government? But you know that for the business is you have to be responsible for your decision, and I think that to be the halal producer is the very strategic decision of the company. You need to thoroughly investigate, study, and decide whether or not to step in the process. So that is my comment for the businesses.
Yes, we have a lot of difficulty, right? Yes, Mr. Addy, Mr. Trần Quốc Dũng mentioned about the harmonization standard globally of the halal standard. What the comment about this?
Yeah, like in Indonesia also, the BPJPH is working hard to make the harmonization with the global Islamic country, that we also get more and more country that we can mutual recognition to that for the agreement to the country that produce and have the halal product, because that also, if we want to export to that country, if we have the mutual recognition agreement, we can easily to produce and export to the country, vice versa.
Yeah. In the coming time, what do you think about the opportunity to cooperation between Vietnam and Indonesia in the halal industry?
Yeah, for the halal industry, that is the Vietnam businesses also must understand that halal is not just industry, that is a way of life of Muslims. So to do this, we must do deep understand on halal way of life, and it's very important. So there is like a suggestion, not only for Vietnam businesses, but also for government, education institution, and other stakeholders to Vietnam to make the first step to developing in this halal industry. The first is Vietnam must make use the Muslim community, that because Mr. Already tell that Vietnam also have Muslim community. The number is not too big, but they have. But make sure to ensure the active role in development in halal industry. A good halal industry can only build through a strong Islamic community. This community have the knowledge to promote the development of halal industry, not only as advisor but also as an actor. As a Muslim around the world have shared the perspective and understanding, this community can connect the Vietnam to learn and share experience with other country for more experience in the halal way of life. This can range for the training, student exchange, collaboration with Muslim businesses, and even joint research. For example, the university can send students to Indonesia University to conduct a research on halal industry in Indonesia. In short, strengthen collaboration, export and counterpart from around the globe to create a solid understanding on halal. And second, Vietnam also need develop its own government incorporate halal agency. I think it is already progress very fast. This halal agency will be able to promote this empowerment of Muslim community, promote cooperation with other country, test and evaluated product as well as present halal certificate. And such this pillar, Vietnam will not only able to export its product to Muslim country, but also can provide halal product for its nation consumption. In this entire world, a Muslim visitor from other Muslim country travel to Vietnam, including visitor from Indonesia.
Yes, I hope that in the future Vietnam will have more experts in halal through the cooperation with Indonesia. Yes. Ambassador Trần Anh Vũ. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You know that Vietnam and Brunei are the member of ASEAN, right? So we share a lot of advantages of the ASEAN economy community. So what opportunity the two nations have to cooperation in the halal industry through the ASEAN community, economic community?
Thank you. I think Brunei could certainly become an important partner of Vietnam in the halal industry bilaterally. I think that there are strong complementarities between the two economies in the halal industry. Last year, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính had a very successful official visit to Brunei, and during the visit, the two countries agreed that halal industry is the prioritized area of cooperation for the two countries in the 2023-2027 period. So recently, more and more Vietnamese provinces and businesses have contacted my embassy to try to connect with the potential partner with Brunei, particularly in those areas that the Vietnamese partner have advantage, like meat product processing and exporting, fishery, beverage, and other sectors. However, there are still some challenges, and I would like to emphasize on the challenge of the lack of information. So, for example, when I speak to the Bruneian businesses here, many of them are surprised to see that Vietnam could provide a lot of halal product in big quantity. For example, the lamb meat. So they are surprised to hear that. So I think that with those challenges, if we could establish important information, like Mr. Trần Quốc Dũng just mentioned, it would be very beneficial for the halal products of Vietnam. So we certainly would work to the establishment of the port of information for halal products and businesses in Vietnam. From a regional perspective, being the active member of ASEAN, I think Vietnam and Brunei should actively promote cooperation within ASEAN and cooperation between ASEAN and the partners in the halal industry. And also I'd like to draw the attention to the potential cooperation between the two countries in sub-regional mechanisms. So at present, Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia and the Philippines are very actively promoting halal cooperation within the framework of the BIPHA, which is the Brunei, Indonesia, Malaysia, the Philippines, East Asia growth area. So according to the STEP of the Global Islamic Economic Report 2010, Economic Report 2020-2021, 3 of the BIPHA countries are among the top 10 economies best positioned to take advantage of opportunities in the halal sector. Malaysia topped the list, Indonesia ranked 4th, and Brunei ranked 9th. Accordingly, we look forward to greater cooperation between BIPHA and the countries in halal industry, with the active contribution of Vietnam and Brunei and other countries. Thank you.
Wow, yes, it's a very wonderful answer. That I'm very impressive about the sub-regional mechanism for the halal industry in the ASEAN. You know, there are a lot of ASEAN members who can cooperate to promote the halal industry. So, Mr. Trần Quốc Dũng, yeah, what do you think about the preparations that policymakers and businesses should have to collaborate with the partner in the world and in the region to push the halal industry?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I think for the policy maker, the first thing that we can consider is to engage the trade agreement with the Islamic country, maybe Islamic country in the wide range, and ASEAN country in the nearer range. So a kind of the agreement or MOU should be settled. And we are doing quite well in this direction. We already have the MOU with the UAE, also with the Saudi Arabia, Iran. We also have the kind of the such cooperation document with the Malaysia and other country. So this is one of the direction that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is very actively working on that direction. This is the first thing. And I think we may need to think of the being participating deeper into the Islamic society. For example, we may think of becoming observer of the OIC, Organization of Islamic Cooperation. This is the organization of 57 Islamic countries. So some non-Muslim country are already the observer, like Russia, like Thailand. If we can participate in that mechanism, then we can have our voice. Of course, we don't have the right to vote, but we can have our voice in that cooperation mechanism. So I think this is from my point of view. The other thing is like trade facilitation, like organizing forum, the fair. We need to participate in the very large halal fair in the world, like MIHAS in the Malaysia, or Indonesia is also hosting the fair, and also Turkey, some other country. We need to present that to show the world who we are, what we already reach. So I think that is important to make the world know about us. And one of the things we may also consider is to have a halal park, halal industrial park. Because you know that the halal is not just one sector; it's the whole chain, including the raw material, processing, packaging, logistic, transportation, and also, as Mr. Addy said, even the financial services. So a kind of the halal park could help the enterprises to save time, to save cost, and to serve the halal market better. And the other thing is the information exchange and also training. We know that training is very important, and with the international cooperation, we can gain the training, like Mr. Vũ and also Mr. Addy have just mentioned. We can have the assistance, the help from the Islamic country, and they are ready to help us. This is good news that they're happy and ready to help us to train to the human resources for halal industry. I think the human resources for both industry, the businesses, also for the standards and certification. So this is very important for factor for us. And for the businesses, as I mentioned, they need to seriously think about halal industry before joining the process. Because if you please don't think that is a temporary action. If you think that is a temporary action, you will do wrong. And if you are failure, one time you failure in the meeting halal requirement, then it's very, very hard for you to gain back the trust from the Islamic country, from the Muslim people. So this is a strategic thing. Think thoroughly first before you decide. And you need to equip yourself with information and knowledge. You need to provide the training to your staff for doing it right since the beginning. That is my advice to the company, and due care to the management system.
Yeah.
This is very important. But the other part, I think that the potential is very high. You know that the size of the market is maybe reach 10 trillion US dollar.
Yeah.
So it's very, very, very big. So a lot of potential for you, and be aware that your product may be used not only by Muslim people, but also by other non-Muslim people. And this tendency is emerging.
Yes.
It's raising.
Increasing very rapidly. Yes, I see. I think that the preparation not depend on the business, but also on policymaker. And policymaker is very important. Yes, to make way for the business. Thank you, Mr. Andy. Yes. Do you have any advices for Vietnam businesses who want to penetrate into the Indonesian market?
Thank you for the question. Like, as a major Muslim country, Indonesia already has an established and thriving halal industry. In this sense, the two countries should not to compete to create each own halal product. Instead, Vietnam and Indonesia can collaborate, develop joint venture to promote investment to co-produce halal product. So, given Indonesian experience and expertise in halal industry, the two countries can complement each other according to its strength and promote the development of regional halal supply chain. With this, Muslims around the world will have access to more halal products, including those products from Vietnam.
Yes. So it's quite easy for Vietnamese businesses to participate in the Indonesian market, but we have to cooperate more and more. Yes. Thank you. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's undeniable that the halal wave seems to be heating up on all fronts, from the central government to the local levels and the business community. With this collective effort, I have a general question for all three guests. What are expectations for the future of Vietnam halal industry in the coming time? Ambassador Trần Anh Vũ, can you answer my question?
Yeah, thank you for this question. I think the global halal market is indispensable for Vietnam. Using that, a certain number of emerging economies have successfully developed their halal industry and to become the important player in the halal supply chain, and Vietnam could do the same. I think we should bear in mind that the enlargement of the global halal market is not a short-term trend, but rather a long-lasting development encompassing various areas, not only food but also services sector like tourism, financing, and even healthcare. So with all those opportunities, I think it is important that the Vietnamese businesses participate proactively in the global halal market on the basis of well-designed strategy in terms of marketing, in terms of product development, in terms of human resource development. So I really look forward to the proactive participation of the Vietnamese businesses. And beyond economic benefit, I think halal cooperation could also help strengthen political, cultural, and people-to-people understanding and exchanges between Vietnam and partner countries. So with this connection, following the incoming International Halal Conference, we really look forward to more halal promotion activities and programs at the governmental, official, and business level between Vietnam and the partner countries in the time to come. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. What about Mr. Trần Quốc Dũng? What are your expectations of the halal Vietnam industry in the coming time, in the near coming time, in the future?
Yeah, I strongly believe that the halal will have the boost development in a very short time, because the government has a very wise and concrete measure to help the development of the halal industry in Vietnam. And the development of the halal in Vietnam would be observed in two directions. One is the export of halal products from Vietnam to Islamic country. The second aspect is the halal or Muslim-friendly services for the Islamic tourism or visitors in Vietnam. So I think I believe that both way will have the very good, not only opportunities, but also the actual result and development.
What about Andy? What is your expectation?
Yes, halal industry have a big potential, not only for Muslim country, but also from all the world, including Vietnam. With the strong basis of production in Vietnam and strong support from the government, I believe that Vietnam also can become one of the producer of halal industry that can support the Muslim in the world. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, the insights shared by our speaker, experts and diplomats well served in halal industry have provided us with a comprehensive view of halal market, sparking new ideas and opportunities from this sector. Thank you to our speakers for participating in the program and very fruitful sharing. Best regards and hope to see you all again. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.